Thick budget. Thick.
A nice thick budget. But the thing is, for us, it's like a lot of us don't even want that money for ourselves. We just want to use better equipment. We just want like
It's just for the sake of like
a car
the
rig.
upgrade.
We want people that can help us out instead of being the camera guy, gaffer, actor, DP, director.
Yeah, you might just make the same money you used to, I don't know, doing a bunch of other things, but now we're talking about like, oh, if we had this fancy little thing and it's extra $80, but then if you have it's like a, I don't know, grandfather credit card. You're like, you have no limits. Go swipe that shit. But
it's a big thing. I think that's the biggest thing for people in our industry, where like if you want to make bigger things, what you make with no money is good enough already, and then people value that and then want to put more money and see your skill
but
grow,
also,
see your potential.
Also being like very I don't know, let's say just not spending money in stupid things also helps a lot at budget, because sometimes they're like, oh no, we need, I don't know, 1,000 of Coca-Cola sunset. It's like, bro, like when we're busy, we don't even touch like the food or stuff like that. Sometimes budgets also get really like pointless just because people don't know how to spend things right, and it's like unnecessary stuff. So it's good to be in the middle where you produce for both scales. So when you have a big budget, you just spend money on trash, but you spend it like wisely. I think it takes a little bit of each experience to do it, because sometimes I feel like, man, like, okay, it's cool, I understand the branding and the marketing behind walking into a set and, I don't know, finding a name tag super cute with your stuff, and there's a little swag bag or whatever, like branding thing, but it's not really necessary. You could I feel
like there's two different realities to what you're saying. Like when I book gigs for my own production company, and I think it's the same way for you guys, like you're very mindful, because most of the time, since our production companies are like a year or 2 years old, we're starting out, so the budgets are going to be smaller. So then we're very mindful of these things, and at the end of the day, the final product might be better, but we're not making that much more money than we would if we were just doing it alone, you know what I mean? But our final product is better,
I think that's what happens when you're like a full-on creative. You rather put all the money into your baby, the baby being the project you're working on at the moment.
Yeah,
and then and once you have that, then like life's perfect, but then you gotta pay rent, and you're like, oh snap, I should have charged more.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. And I feel like, to what Val was saying, when it's bigger production companies that hire me as a freelancer, and I think you guys have gone through this too, you're like, okay, why the hell are there 20 different lights that you guys rented for this? I could do this setup with 5. There are 20 here, and there's like 30 people not doing anything, and there's like this amount of catering, food, water, drinks, whatever. We're not even touching that, like Val said. So it's like it's like both sides, and I think bigger productions kind of like
it's also
span
too
stuff.
of like, once you get to a certain point, you don't want to be a multitasker to a certain extent. Like you just want to be the DP, and a lot of times when you're on a DP in a higher level, you don't even touch the camera. You have a camera operator and an AC, or even if you're a camera operator too, you're not tweaking the camera, you're not changing the lenses. An AC, the second AC is doing that.
You're sipping on a margarita. You're just chilling. Emmanuel's chilling out here on a hammock.
Like, I just want that shot, and I want that shot. But it's like,
this is what I want.
It's merging the two of like, okay, I can't do everything. I can't be the DP and gaffer and makeup artist. I have to pick one. And then you put budget into that, and then you make that the best that it can be. So that's my next step in the next couple months. Because I do get gigs that are, being well paid, but I don't have the control of like, getting that client myself, and then letting them know the expectation of how much a budget can be, and then how much we can give them with that budget. So that's what I'm excited about. And yeah, I'm excited to see. I just talked to a client last week with one of my boys. He seems super excited. And if it gets accepted, then we're doing a little commercial with them in
That's
a
awesome.
couple weeks. So goal is to do that with
Yeah.
a couple more local businesses in Orlando and just grow a portfolio of like superly well done commercials.